What up, Street Dogs? The Eric for the Eric Street Story blog. So, I want to share with you this random thought I had: swim upstream or swim downstream. So, I've read a lot of philosophy, and generally speaking, the Zen, Taoist, Buddhist notions are like, nature's the best. Don't try to fight nature or else you're gonna lose. And like for example, don't fight against the stream, don't fight against nature. Nature is the best, nature is superior to humanity, blah blah. So after spending some time just thinking for myself, this is why I actually thought, swimming upstream seems better, especially being humans. Especially considering humans were like kind of the apex predator on planet Earth, right? And potentially, at least this galaxy. So I think one of the interesting notions is let us study salmon. So if we study our little salmon friends, salmons swim upstream against the stream, and in them swimming against the stream, they actually become more epic. So I don't know if they work out their little salmon muscles or whatever, but they seem to do a good job. And let's consider almost everything that we've created, none of it is natural. It seems like most of the things that we've created tend to defy nature and to defy what is, kind of, once again, quote-unquote natural. So let me give some examples. So first and foremost, let us think about the internet. To me, the internet is one of the best inventions ever devised by humanity, and it's one of the things I'm most grateful for. If it wasn't for the internet, I couldn't do what I do, become self-employed, travel the world, blah blah. And even think about spaceships or airplanes or cars. None of these things are natural by any stretch of the imagination, yet we all love it. Yet at the same time, the bias in philosophy is like, oh, we should always deify nature over humanity. Humanity ain't that important, whatever. So I like for us to kind of combat this notion. So even almost everything, it seems like when we humans fight against gravity, it actually is kind of fun. For example, I'm a huge fan of powerlifting, doing deadlifts, squats, etc. And the most fun part about it is actually you're fighting against gravity. By powerlifting, you're essentially pushing the earth away from you and you're fighting against gravity. And when we fight against gravity, our bodies actually become stronger and we become more epic. So even if you ever watch like Dragon Ball Z, Goku's training in the gravity chamber, how does Goku become stronger? Goku increases the gravity number, and as a consequence, his muscles become stronger. So the real life, Goku gravity chamber we could do when we're lifting weights is for us to also increase the intensity or increase the resistance. So increasing weight is seems like it's the best thing. And I think if the goal is for us to maximize our personal strength and to become the most epic humans possible, it seems like having more muscle is a good thing. And therefore, we need resistance, we need gravity, we need things to fight against. Even if you want to become the strongest boxer, you need to fight against strong opponents in order to become more epic. And I almost wonder if intellectually this idea holds true too, is that if you want to take your intellectual abilities to the next level, you kind of need to tackle ideas or philosophical thoughts or knowledges or fight against kind of biases in our society which are too basic. So even for myself, my greatest joy in life is kind of pursuing philosophy, art, strength building, blah blah. And to me it's all connected. I think the ultimate apex of a human is part philosopher, part artist, and also part powerlifter. Because consider, like, most artists have been kind of these like emaciated looking Edgar Allan Poe types, and also more powerlifters should also probably philosophize, and also more philosophers should also probably deadlift. Shout out to my buddy Nassim Taleb. But anyways, so it really does seem that in life, anything that we could do that's more physical tends to be better. So like even for my mom, like one of her greatest joys in life is to go hiking, to go backpacking and stuff like that. And you know, you're fighting against nature, you're trying to climb a mountain and stuff like that. And ultimately, it's not really even about nature. Like nature is kind of interesting because why do we like nature? I think there tends to be some sort of biophilia, like there's probably something in our human DNA that, you know, we like the smell of trees or we like the color green or whatever. But ultimately, at least for myself, I prefer the city over nature because I actually think that humanity and human ingenuity is actually far more interesting than even Mother Nature. And generally Mother Nature, you know, she's had a lot more time to work on things, so you know, generally what's natural tends to be superior, but not everything that's natural is superior. And I think that's also something that's important to consider. So it's kind of, I think it's like, in order to become the most epic human, is to discover the ultimate hybrid between natural and also, you know, in praise of mankind and what we do. So other ways that we could swim upstream, go against popular social notions of just thoughts. Like this is even why I don't, you know, I don't read any websites, blogs, or anything modern anymore. Everything I read is, you know, ancient, pretty much. I love the ancient Greeks, Romans, Nietzsche, and so forth. And I feel like I'm kind of swimming against the tide of my modern age. And to me, I like this because it just seems a little bit more honest and more accurate. And there's nothing, the hard thing about doing stuff that's modern is that some of it is true and a lot of it is wrong. And if you don't have time to filter these things, it's difficult to know what's going to be right and what's wrong in the long scheme of things. So generally things which are more old school or more ancient tend to be a little more accurate because time has been able to filter it out. And things which are modern, some of it might last, some of it might not last. Like even the reason I don't really like to read tech stuff no more, because all this, you know, this stuff never lasts. For example, like even the notion Web 2.0, you gotta remember the last time anyone's mentioned that. And all these old antiquated web notions tend to be kind of it's not very robust to the test of time. So my personal aim as a thinker or photographer, philosopher, blogger, vlogger, whatever, is I kind of want to create some ideas that will have some sort of staying power. So like even some ideas that I've been able to coin, like, you know, buy books, not gear. You know, in the context of photography, I think this is a good one. You know, conquering your fears in street photography, open source photography, stuff like that. I think these are generally good things because ultimately I'm gonna die. At best, I might live to be, you know, maybe at best I might live to be like 120 or whatever. I mean, I would love to live, you know, 300 years or 3,000 years or 30,000 years, but I know that ain't gonna happen. But ultimately, you know, I guess I just love humanity so much as I just want to see humanity in general thrive to the maximum, hopefully into perpetuity for the next 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, 3 million, 3 billion years, whatever. And so it does seem like it's kind of fun for me to come up with these ideas and share them in the hope that they might affect and influence people in the future. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, you know, I can't control that, but at least for me, it's fun for me to share my thoughts, to be honest and so forth. And even at the end of the day, like even me and you going on this nice little romantic walk is kind of fun because it just gets me out of my apartment, gets me talking, gets me thinking, gets me walking, gets me engagement with the pavement and just kind of out and about. So ultimately what I mean to say is just swim upstream, don't go with the current, go against the current. You know, go against modern ideas, go against things that you don't believe in. Just essentially follow your own gut, follow yourself and obey yourself. Think beyond basic, think for yourself, and don't let others bully you, scare you, or try to coerce you otherwise. Peace out.